from Adani by the look of things. Silverfeld trying to distribute the ball, and Adani just stood in his way. So the follow through from the leg of the influential Dire Dawa midfielder really was blocked and injured himself in the process. I don't think there was anything intentional in that from the Wolkite player. Malu Willem directing traffic. One of the more experienced players in the Wolkite camp. In fact, he has the most amount of appearances this season. His 24th match for Wolkite. Maui comes across and Patsy's midfielder on the back. Again, we look at that challenge, and he went with his foot up into the chest of Charles, did the Wolkite goalkeeper, and was beaten from the penalty spot by Surafel. Charles had to be replaced by Temesgen just moments later, who only played twice this season and only for a couple of minutes as well. Keeper commits himself to the edge of the area. Very dangerous ploy indeed, and it very nearly worked out for the visitors. Esagagan benefiting from the bounce of the ball, but not from the trajectory. Grass just making sure there's nothing untoward going on in that penalty area. There's no doubt that Judo want to score a third, very nearly score a third through Surafel. Again, not convincing defending from Wolkite. Paid the price already on 2 occasions. Esagagan with the ball, free header. As it wasn't a header, it was off the boot from Surafel. Maybe it's a little too low for the header. It's too easy for Abayu. This man's always a good contributor. Ponytailed Medin. He's only 19 years old and playing for the 20th time this season. Hasn't got a goal yet. He certainly does make a contribution more on the left-hand side than directly in the middle, but he does drift across into the middle to offer support for the strikers occasionally. Drifted wide again has Medin. Have to get on his bicycle here a little. Pressure from the captain Yasu. The match seems to have settled down into a rather predictable situation right now. Dawa grabbing the 2 early goals and able to dominate matches in the midfield. Wolkite in the meantime trying to score for just the 11th time this season. There's some patches throughout the course of the campaign where they went many matches without scoring goals. I remember between the 11th of February and the 17th of March, where there were 5 matches that they weren't able to score a goal. They did manage to keep clean sheets in amongst that, against Dicha and against Shashameen. 10 goals not enough in a Premier League season, and they find themselves to Wolkite just outside of the drop zone. Munageta will know that very well indeed. Some matches where there are the potential of points coming up for Wolkite in the remainder of the season. Not the next match though, because the next encounter in the beginning of June, he's up against Ethiopia Coffee, who find himself in 4th place on the table. Then there's a match against Awasa, who are in 10th place, and Pericho at the bottom of the table, and Adama, who are 5th on the table. So there's some occasion for points for Wolkite against Pericho, but the rest are pretty tough opponents. Ball left behind by Abel. Good opportunity here for Gadisa. Nice possession as well. Gadisa gets a second touch. This is Medin. Support coming up from his flank. Adani decides to go in the other direction to Daniel. Getu. Well, we saw the fullback push forward in Adani. Needham normally plays on the left-hand side as well. When the cross came over, neither of those two players were in a position to pick up the second ball, which is rather disappointing. Lack of real anticipation. Away by Wanda Megan. In fact, that looks like Malua Lem. Now it's Getu. Both sides have shown a preference for the long ball today. No one, no exception. Daniel, support from Getu. Samson. Gatisa. That'll be a free kick for Wolkite. Henok just wrestling his opponent to the ground. So Gadisa will have a free kick here for Wolkite. The exception of the Fasil match last week, where they failed to score the previous 3 matches to that, even though they were losses, scored against Bayadar, Mechal and Commercial Bank, which are the leading 3 sides on the table at the moment, the Ethiopian Premier League log, and that's pretty impressive. I'll get you the description of what the points look like in the Ethiopian Premier League, both at the top and the bottom of the table. But this free kick first for Wolkite. 10 fouls in the day so far. Sense of anticipation from the home side supporters. Ball's done its job. Who gets second ball? It's not Medin. Ball nicely cleared away by Abel. Danger averted. Half an hour played in Nawasa. Now lead by 2-0. Lots of movement on the edge of the penalty area. Yasu dropping back just in case the ball didn't make it over the wall, but the wall did its job more than adequately. Medin cut out by Abel. Abel again into the midfield. Surafel looking for work on the right flank. He was over more on the inside left channel for a while. Adani, the fullback. Oh, that should be a yellow card for a Yasu. Challenger didn't go anywhere near the ball. Referee card in hand. 83rd yellow card of the season for referee Tudros. And really, all the captain had to do, I mean, he's come wide. Maybe he's not quite quick enough to hold off against Adani, and therefore the challenge, it really is quite a brutal one. No attempt to play the ball whatsoever by the 21-year-old. Second most capped player this season for Tridal. His 25th appearance of the season. Ishmael plays for the 26th time and hasn't missed a match so far in the campaign. Work to do defensively here for Tridal. Mezgen looking to beat Abayu. Has scored twice this season to Mezgen. Mezgen tries to go near post, flicked away by Abayu. There was a header in there as well. The shot goes wide of the target. Vicious from Wolkite, good defending from Asagagan. The tip away from Abayu was just about adequate. So give us a better angle at it. Tipped away with the left boot, but that header away by Asagagan was better. The left-footed shot always going wide. Willem in the midfield. Hasn't scored this season so far. Looking for an early birthday present since he's turning 32 on Sunday. Way by Daniel for Wolkite. Keeper sweeper for Dire Dawa, and he gets clobbered into by Temezgen. It's going to be a yellow card surely as well. Claiming his innocence is the 24-year-old. Just a bit of physicality starting to creep into the game here. The referee hasn't given a yellow card and surely should have. That boot seemed to be up into the buttocks area of the Dire Dawa goalkeeper. Just for the moment, Dire Dawa seem to be feeling a little bit of pressure from Wolkite. Nothing much coming over the halfway line for the side that lead by 2-0, and at the moment on a live table, it's going to be offside. Won't count, offside flag. Clearly would have been up from assistant referee Sharu. But even those moments are to be applauded. Have the ball in the back of the net, it gives you confidence that you can accomplish that. Even with the low scoring record of Wolkite this season, there's absolutely no doubt that the offside flag should have gone up and has gone up. Nice finish. Captain of Wolkite, Samson. Was another foul on Surafel. And with that as influential of a player, then you are going to attract attention. Not that sort of attention he didn't want anyway from his opposite number. Tough season for Wolkite. So let's have a look at the status as far as the league is concerned. No, let's have a look at the offside. I don't think there can be too much doubt. Call coming right on the edge of the penalty area. Top of the table, Commercial Bank. They lost 4 and drawn 5 matches, 16 victories, 53 points for the Commercial Bank side. They were only promoted through from the higher league last season. 3 points clear of the Defence Force side, Mechal. Much better goal difference, twice the amount of goal difference that Mechal have. Bahia sneaking into 3rd position. All the way another 6 points back, and then another 3 points back, Ethiopia Coffee and Adama. For some reason, St. George, the defending champions, seem to have lost their way quite considerably. If you have a look at the recent results, really hasn't been a great part of the season for St. George. Another opportunity for Dire Dawa. Good work by Asagagan. Adani defends nicely. More frustration for coach Murugeta. He's good defending. Good ball into the penalty area. Medin at the back post. Still an opportunity for Samson. Numbers forward here for Wolkite, and plays going down maybe a little too easily to Mezgen in particular. Offside against Dire Dawa on the counter. It's one of the goal scorers, Carlos. So suddenly good end-to-end action here in Awasa. This is the initial ball. It's a lovely one, and I'm not quite sure why Medin didn't attack that with a great deal more vigor. Samson had a chance. Just too many purple jerseys around the edge of that penalty area. So the defending champion, St. George, 7 matches without a win. 3 draws, 4 losses. And it's seen them drop all the way down to 6th position on the table and only 40 points. It's all of 13 points away from log leaders Commercial Bank with matches running out. Samson had this opportunity. Medin had a previous chance on the penalty spot. To Mezgen waiting for the ball to arrive at him, but there was absolutely no way through. Dida sitting back on the ball, seemed to be inviting trouble. Wolkite with a lot more completed passes than their opponents, and more danger here as Captain Iyesu has to come and clear in front of Abayu. Getting numbers forward here, Wolkite, and they're getting numbers forward with greater belief as well. Dani trying to apply pressure. Offside against Temezgen. Yeah, just in the last little while, Dida getting themselves into a little bit of bother in their own penalty area. And the pressure that we saw earlier on in the midfield, with Wolkite dominating sometimes 4 players, midfield players around the ball, is now emanating to a shot from Malualem, but also that they have greater belief, Wolkite, and they're playing their football slightly higher and getting greater numbers around the Dridao penalty area. So Dridao really have to be cautious of the strategy here from Murugeta. It's a good strategy. Abel losing out to Murugeta. Wide to Medin. Dani on the overlap. Medin decides to go with more the direct route. It wasn't the right call as Ismail clears easily. Good positioning for Carlos. Wide to Temezgen. Abel waiting near the penalty area, and not the greatest of clearances, but effective nonetheless for Wolkite for the first time in maybe 10 minutes, maybe even more. Came under some sort of pressure from Dridao. It's a nice clearance from Misei. Third corner kick of the match for Dridao. Into the final 5 minutes of regulation time before we have stoppage time, and wide again by Surafel, who can't get the shot on target. Back-to-back corners, though, for Dridao. Surafel again, looking to get into the mix. The keeper's come out. He's missed it completely, as Faris. Fortunately, second ball went to Wolkite. But they're back on the attack here on the visiting side. This is Carlos. 3 corners in a row now. Don't forget, in round 15 on the 18th of February, Dridao won by only 1-0. Goal from Charles, who has left the field of play early on with that injury caused by this man, Faris. Lots of pushing and shoving and holding going on inside of that penalty area. Referee Tudor certainly has his hands full. Ball to the near post this time. Header not on target by Carlos. Did make ground towards the near post. Got a head on the ball as well, but he was well defended. Malualem. Wide by Samson. Getu switches to Adani. They get himself in trouble in the midfield and passing to a teammate, but he's already been closed down quite hectically. This is an opportunity early on that came off the crossbar of the goal of Abayu. Might have been a fingertip in it from the 23-year-old goalkeeper for Dire Dawa. I must say that the longer the half has progressed, the greater the purpose and belief from Wolkite to get themselves back into this one. But for that stage, 2 early goals have been conceded, and again offside against the home team. Only 19 years old, Medin. And he moved just a fraction too early. Carlos can't pick up the ball in front of Temesgen. Very nearly a fortuitous moment for Dire Dawa. Headed forward by Yasu, but he's mountaineering and called out by referee Tudros. He's climbing all over the back of Temesgen, was the captain of Dire Dawa. It's a lot of possession conceded by Wolkite. Heading in towards the final minute then of regulation time at the Hawassa Stadium. Wolkite 0, Dire Dawa 2. Asagagan goes over the top of Carlos. Carlos benefits from the second ball. Now Temesgen drives the shot in over the top. In fact, that looks like Degmawi rather. Left-sided fullback. And again, concern for Wolkite defensively. It'll be interesting to see how much time is added on by referee Tudros. I can't imagine it will be less than 2 minutes. Header away by Misei. Malualem. Getu. Well, it's not a bad ball, you know, and he's onside as well. Here is Gadiza. 5 minutes added on to the end of the first half by referee Tudros. So a lengthy delay with the injury to Charles and yellow card to Faris. Wolkite will earn just their second corner kick in first half stoppage time. I think they've done rather nicely with set pieces, have Wolkite. See what they can conjure up this time. Malualem, the closest to the goal of Abayu for Wolkite. Carlos with the header away. Consecutive corners for the home side. Away by Degmawi. Second ball for Temesgen, and now the counter-attack for Dire Dawa. They do have numbers forward here. Surafel weighing up his options, and there weren't too many of them. Points to Degmawi on the right-hand side. Abel. Back with Henok. And forced into a rearguard action. That's great defending from Wolkite, as Dire Dawa forced to rethink their strategy on the attack. And despite the 2 goals that came within the opening 14 minutes, Wolkite really have had opportunities. Been creative, they've been consolidated in the midfield as well. Much more solid at the back in the last 25 minutes of the first half and the opening 20 minutes. Asagagan looking for possession. Carlos can't hold on. Referee playing an advantage for the foul on Medin. Temesgen. Sense of anticipation here for Wolkite. Oh, it's a nice touch. Daniel, good save, Abayu. Good football all round. Daniel, a strike on the turn. And all of a sudden, the corners are starting to come for Wolkite. And Abayu starting to become far more the busier of the 2 goalkeepers. It's a nice header in there as well from Malualem. Henok, in the meantime, has picked up a yellow card for foul play. Holding midfielder for Dire Dawa. That's a top save from Abayu. Ball's been allowed to bounce rather awkwardly near that penalty area. Sort of fell again with a pickup for Dire Dawa. Pinnock, Dagmawi. He's a very, very direct and forward-playing fullback is Dagmawi. Round of applause for extricating themselves out of that situation. Dire Dawa now, Asagagan. Asagagan was at the ball poached away from him by Samson. Wide to get to. Megan to Mise. Controlling possession nicely here, Wolkite, but it is inside of their own half. Meaden. Essegagan's foul. Free kick to Wolkite. And they still continue to gain free kicks, gain corner kicks, extricate set pieces. And they have 1 more minute in first half stoppage time to try and get something more tangible on the scoreboard here. Trading by 2-0, Wolkite. Adani, nice hanging ball. Easily cleared though by Henok. Samson. Getu. It's Daniel, in fact. Malualem. Now Adani. It'll be interesting to see what Henok's side, what Wolkite side come out for the second half of this one, because the home team have really been very, very impressive in the last 25 minutes or so. 11 of the free kick here before half-time with the foul from Henok, who needs to be cautious because he is already on a yellow. So that referee Tudros will remind him of that fact. Final touch of the first half potentially for Captain Sansom. It's only goal coming against Commercial Bank 2 matches ago. It's come off ahead of a Dire Dawa defender, and Wolkite will have another set piece. Referee allowing the set piece to be taken as well, inside by Medin. The header away by Dire Dawa, and that should bring us to half-time in Hawassa. Enterprising start to the match with a bursting run from Charles as he was taken out by Faris. Faris with the yellow card, Dire Dawa with a penalty. Charles substituted by Temezgen. And just 10 minutes later, Carlos, lovely through ball from Surafel, scored the second of the half for Dire Dawa, who scored 2 within the opening 14 minutes. But a lot of credit to Wolkite, who consolidated, and they didn't allow Dire Dawa too much options to score further goals during the first half. Carlos and Surafel, the goal scorers. Dire Dawa lead at half-time by 2-0.
In this world, every player is a hero. And
oh, he's added another one to the connection.
One team's hero is another team's villain. Catch the Nedbank Cup on Supersport. This broadcast is brought to you by Nedbank. Kiona Yaruna.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Super Picks Fantasy is where it's at. All you need to do is select the match you want to play, create your ultimate team on Super Picks, follow the match, and watch your team climb up the leaderboard and win big every day. Because at Super Picks, you play for free and win for real.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Something close to genius.
angicela uzohamba uyoshintsha istatement uthi wena awubonanga lutho.
Zulu,
Sembui. Ai, pega a mina je wole mi fui. Ungelo dum se la ba.
That's it. The regular football season is over.
What?
Yes, it's over.
Oh no.
But not for us here at Supersport. We've got your favorite players. Only they won't be playing for your favorite clubs. That's because they'll be playing for their countries in Euro 2024, exclusively on Supersport.
Yeah. Whoopsie. Sorry. That's actually a pretty big deal.
Catch all 51 games of Euro 2024 only on Supersport. This broadcast is proudly brought to you by Betway. Get way more.
ተመልሰናል ተመልካቾቻችን የመጀመሪያ ግማሽ 45 ደቂቃ የጨዋታ ክፍለ ጊዜ 2-0 በሆነ ውጤት ድሬዳዋ ከነማ የመራበት ጨዋታ ሆኖ ተጠናቋል። ፈጥነው ጨዋታውን ጀምረውታል። አጠቃላይ 45 ደቂቃ ግን እንዴት እንደነበረ በቁጥርም በእንቅስቃሴ የምንመለከት ይሆናል። ጥሩ ጊዜ እንደሆናችሁ ከወዲሁ እንጋብዛለን። ከባልደረባ ዮናስ አዘዘ ጋር ነው ቆይታ የምናደርገው። ካሳለፍነው ሳምንት ከዛ የጎል ናዳ የመጣ ቡድን አይመስልም ድሬዳዋ።
ፈጣን አጀማመር ነው ያደረጉት። ገና ከመጀመሪያው ግማሽ 30 ሰከንድ ጀምሮ አስገራሚ ነገሮች የተመለከቱ ነው። በተለይ በወልቂጤ በኩል የመከላከል የትኩረት ማነስ ችግሮች በፍጥነት በሁለት ጎል ልዩነት እንዲመሩ አድርጓቸዋል። በዚህ ረገድ ድሬዳዎች ይህን እድል በመጠቀም በኩል በጣም ክሊኒካል ነበሩ። ከዛ በኋላ ባለው ግን በአብዛኛው ተመጣጣኝ እና በመጠኑ ወልቂጤ ወደፊት ጫን ብሎ ለመጫወት የሞከረበትና ወደፊት ሲሄዱ በተለይ ሳጥን አካባቢ በትክክል 9 ቁጥር አጥቂ በጣም እንደሚያስፈልጋቸው ወልቂጤዎች ወደም ያየንበት ጨዋታ ይመስለኝ።
በጨዋታው እንግዲህ የነበሩትን እንቅስቃሴዎች የምንመለከት ይሆናል። በጨዋታው የመጀመሪያዎቹ ደቂቃ ላይ እንግዲህ ሁሉ ነገር ያለቀ ነው የሚመስለው። 45 ደቂቃዎች ትዕይንት ከከፋፈል ነው 10 ደቂቃዎች በጣም ወሳኝ ናቸው። ይህን ሂደት እንመልከት።
ከክንፍ ሁለት ግዙፍ አጥቂዎች የያዘ ቡድን ነው ድሬዳዋ ነው። አብዛኛው ወደ ሳጥን የሚጣሉ ኳሶችን ለመተግበር የገቡ ይመስላል። ከመጀመሪያው እስከ ጀምሮ ያን ያደረጉት ወደ ሳጥን የተሻማ ኳስ ፋሪስ አለዊ ከ3 ጨዋታ ቅጣት መልስ ነው የመጣው እና ጨዋታ ውስጥ በትክክል ገብቷል። ያለፉት 3 ጨዋታዎች ትኩረቱ ጥሩ ነበር። እርግጠኛ አይደለሁም ተመልከተ ኳሱ እንደመጣ ኳሱን ማዳን ወይ ኳሱን ማውጣት ሲገባው ወይም ደግሞ መወሰን ያለበት ኳሱን ለማዳን ነው። ነገር ግን ያገኘው ማንን ነው? ሙሴጌ ነው። ይሄ ደግሞ በጣም ግዴለሽ ከዛ ውጪ ደግሞ ምን ጊዜውን ያልጠበቀ ኳሱ ከማግኘት ይልቅ የተጋጣሚ ተጫዋች አደጋ ውስጥ የከተተ ፋውል ነውና ቴዎድሮስ በጣም በሚገርም ሁኔታ ነው ውሳኔውን ያገኙት። በትክክል ጥሩ ውሳኔ ወሰኑ ይመስለኛልና ፋሪስ የመጨረሻው ጨዋታ ከባህር ዳር ጋር ነበር ታስታውስ እንደሆነና ፔናልቲ ቀይ ካርድ ወጥቶ ነበር። ዛሬ ደግሞ ጥሩ አጀማመር ያደርጋል መሰለኝ።
በጨዋታው እንግዲህ ሱራፌል ጌታቸው የቆመውን ኳስ አስቆጥሯል። በጨዋታው ቀደም ብሎ አሰልጣኝ ሽመልስ የኢትዮጵያ ብሔራዊ ቡድን ጥሪ ያስፈልገዋል ብለው ነበር።
ከዚህ ከሙሴጌ ከወጣ በኋላ በአብዛኛው ወደ 10 ቁጥር ቦታ የተመለሰ ከቀይ መስመር ይልቅ ከሁለት አጥቂዎች ጀርባና በጣም ተመችቶታል። ሁለተኛውን ጎል ላይ እናየዋለን አሲስት ያደረገውን ኳስ። ይሄኛው ግን በጣም በአስደናቂ ሁኔታ ተረጋግቶ ለፋሪስ ምንም እድል ሳይሰጠው ግሩም ጎል ነው ያስቆጠረው ሱራፌል እና አሰልጣኙ ኬዝ ያላቸው ይመስለኛል። ጥሩ ሲዝን እያሳለፈ
የጨዋታው እንግዲህ የፍጹም ቅጣት ምት የመጀመሪያ መቼ ያሬድ ታደሰ ነው። በዛሬው ጨዋታ እንግዲህ በቡድን ውስጥ የለም። ሁለተኛው መቼ ሱራፌል ያስቆጠረው ኳስ ድሬዳዋ ከነማን ቀዳሚ እንዲሆኑ አድርጓቸዋል። በጨዋታው እንቅስቃሴ እንግዲህ የተሻለ ጨዋታውን መቆጣጠር ውስጥ እንዲገቡ አድርጓቸዋል። ጨዋታውን በዚህ መንገድ እንዲመሩ ካደረጋቸው በኋላ ደግሞ አሁን የሱራፌልን የተሻለ የሚባለውን እንቅስቃሴና ለጎል የሚሆነውን ኳስ ያዘጋጀበትን መንገድ እንመልከት።
ካርሎስ በሁለት ተከላካዮች ማሉን የመጀመሪያ ኳስ ማሸነፍ ይችላልና ለሱራፌል የመጀመሪያ ኳስ ካርሎስ አሸነፈ። ለሱራፌል ደግሞ ጊዜውን የጠበቀ ፓስ ለካርሎስ ሰጠ እና ጥሩ ኮምቢኔሽን ነው። በተለይ በካርሎስ እና በሱራፌል ማለት የተመለከት ነው። ተደራቢ አጥቂ ከ9 ቁጥር ጋር የሚያደርጉት አይነት ኮምቢኔሽን ያየ ነው። በጣም ግሩም ፓስ ካርሎስ ተረጋግቶ ነው ኳስ የጨረሰውና ተመልከት ሱራፌል ምን ያህል ስፔስ እና ቦታ እንድትሰጡ እዚህ ቦታ ላይ የተከላካይ አማካዮች መኖር አለባቸው። ዳንኤል ደምሷል፣ ሙሉ አለማል አንዳቸውም ይሄን ኳስ ፓስ እንዳያደርግ መጥተው የተከላከሉ የሉም እና ተጋልጦ ነበር ግብ ጠባቂውም ተከላካዩም። በዚህ ረገድ ካርሎስ ምንም ስህተት አልሰራም። ቆንጆ ጎል ነው ያስቆጠረው። አሁንም የመጀመሪያው የፋሪስ ከሆነ የሁለተኛው ደግሞ የተከላካይ አማካዮች ላይ የተከላካዮች ከዚህ በላይ ማድረግ የነበረባቸው ይመስለኛል በወልቂጤ በኩል።
ዮናስ ከጨዋታ በፊት ብዙ ጊዜ አጥቂዎች ይናገራሉ ይባላል እና ካርሎስ ከጨዋታው በፊት ሃትሪክ ሰራለሁ ብሎ ተናግሯል ይባላል።
ስለዚህ ሁለት ጎሎች ቀሩት፣ ሩቅ አይደለም። ከሁሉም በላይ ግን በተለይ ቡድኑ ሁለት ጎል አስቆጥሮ ያለፈውን የ5-0 አሰቃቂ ሽንፈት ለመርሳት አሁን ጥሩ የራስ መተማመን አግኝቶ ይወጡ ይመስለኛል። ከሁለቱ ጎል በኋላ ወልቂጤ የተሻለ ፑሽ ማድረግ ችሏል። ግን ፊት ላይ የካርሎስ የሙሴጋ አይነት አጥቂ የላቸውም።
አብዩ በዛሬው ጨዋታ እንግዲህ በጣም ወሳኝ የሚባሉ ኳሶችን ያቋረጠበት መንገድ እጅግ በጣም የሚገርም ነው። ስፖርቱ ላይ የተገኘበትና እዛ የሚወስናቸው ውሳኔዎች ይህን ግብ ጠባቂ ጥሩ ያደርገዋል።
በትክክል በፊት ላይ ሱራፌል እና ካርሎስ ጥሩ ከሆኑ ከጀርባ ደግሞ ዛሬ እያሱ፣ ከዛ ውጭ አብዩ፣ ሌላ ደግሞ ለድሬዳዋ ምንም አይነት እድል ለወልቂጤ ምንም አይነት እድል ባለመስጠት በኩል ደግሞ በጣም ጥሩ ነበሩ። ይህ ኳስ በደንብ ፓንች አላደረገውም። በእርግጥ ግን ከአደጋ ክልል ኳሱን ለማውጣት ሞክሯል። ሙሉ ዓለም በደካማ እግሩ ነው ኳሱን የመታው እና ወደ ጎሉ ሳይሆን ይበልጥ ወደ ውጭ የተቆረጠ ኳስ ስለሆነ ጎል ሊሆን አልቻለም። ሳጥን አካባቢ 50-50 ያልሆኑ ድሎችን ነው ሲያገኙ የነበረው እና ድሬዳዋ ወልቂጤ ምን ያህል በዚህ የዝውውር መስኮት ሞኬ 9 ቁጥር ፊት ላይ በጣም ሳጥኑ ሻርፕ የሆነ አጥቂ ቢያንስ እዛ አካባቢ ጥሩ ኢንስቲንክት ያለው አጥቂ ያስፈልገው እንደነበር በደንብ ያየንበት ጨዋታ።
ይሄ ሁለተኛው ኳሱ ነው። ኳሱን የሚመጣበትን አቅጣጫ የሚያይበትና በጣም እዛ ቦታ ላይ ያለው ንቃት የሚገርም ነው።
አብዩ ጥሩ ጊዜ እያሳለፈ ያለ ግብ ጠባቂ ነው። በጣም ጥሩ ተስፋ አለው። የጋዲሳ ኳሶች አስቸጋሪ ናቸው ሙኪ፣ በጣም አስቸጋሪ ኳሶች ናቸው እና እነዚህ በመቆጣጠር ረገድ ጥሩ ፖዚሽኒንግ ላይ ነበረ ይመስላል። ራሱ እንዴት አጀስት እንዳደረገ ተመልከት። ኳሱ ልክ ሲመታ ሲል በሚገባኝ ኳስ ማዳን ችሏል። ሁለተኛ ኳስ እዛ አካባቢ አነፍንፎ የሚጠቀም ተጫዋች በወልቂጤ በኩል አትመለከትም እና መድኔ ሲሞክርት ያለ አብዛኛው ከቀይ መስመር የሚነሳ ማጥቃት ነው። ከዚህ በላይ ግን ወልቂጤዎች የሚያስፈልጋቸው ይመስለኝ
ወሳኝ የሚባሉ ኳሶችን ነው እያቋረጠ እየተመለከትን እንገኘው። ምናልባት ከነዚህ ኳሶች ውስጥ አንዱ ቢቆጠር ወደ ጨዋታው ሊመለሱ የሚችሉበት እድል አለ። የዳንኤልን ኳስ ነው የምንመለከተው
በግማሻው። ግን ይህ ኳስ እንዲቀጥል ቴዎድሮስ ጥሩ አድቫንቴጅ ፈቅዷል። ሄኖክ አንጃው ፋውል ሰርቶ ነበር። የዳንኤል የመጀመሪያ ተች በጣም ድንቅ ነበር። የዞረበት መንገድ ቀጥታ ጎሉን ያገኘው። ከዚህ ቦታ ቀኑ ከሆነ ምን አይነት ጎል እንደሚያገባ ባለፈው ዓመት ቅዱስ ጊዮርጊስ ላይ ያስቆጠረውን ጎል ታስታውሳለህ? ከሳጥን ውጪ እና በጣም ድንቅ ኳስ ነበር። አብዩ ነው በእዳቸውን በግማሽ ቀንሰው ወደ መልበሻ ክፍል እንዳይወጡ ያደረጋቸው እና ወልቂጤ በደንብ ሪስፖንድ ለማድረግ ሞክረዋል። ሳጥን አካባቢ ግን አሁን የሚጎላቸው ነገር በደንብ ያየን። በተለይ ማጥቃት ላይ በጣም ጥሩ አጥቂዎች ያስፈልጓቸዋል። ያም ማግኘት አልቻሉ።
ወደ ቁጥሮች እንሂድ። በጨዋታው የመጀመሪያው ግማሽ ላይ ነበሩ የሁለቱ ቡድኖች የማጥቂያ መነሻ መንገዶቻቸው እንዲሁም ደግሞ ሙከራዎቻቸውን የምንመለከት ይሆናል። ያው የተሻለ የነበረው በ45 ደቂቃ ውስጥ ድሬዳዋ ከነማ እንደነበረ እየተመለከትን ነው። ቁጥሮችስ ምን ይመስላሉ የሚለውን ነገር እንመልከት ይሆናል። በግብ ማግባት ሙከራ እንዲሁም ደግሞ በመጠጋት የተሻለ ቁጥር እንዳለው ድሬዳዋ ከነማን እየተመለከትን ነው።
ምንም ጥያቄ የለውም። ወደፊት ሄደው ሁለት ኳሊቲ ያለ 10 ቁጥር ላይ ሱራፌል አለ። ተመስገን ቄሮ ገባ በኋላ ጥሩ ነገር ያደርጋል። ካርሎስ ዛሬ ጥሩ የተንቀሳቀሰ ነው። ሁለቱ ፉልባኮች ወደፊት መሄድ ይችላሉ። በዚህ ረገድ አማራጮች አሉ። በቁጥር የሚያሳይ ይመስለኛል። በወልቂጤ በኩል የኳስ ቁጥር ድርሻቸው ከድሬዳዋ በመጠኑ ከፍ ያለ ነው። ሳጥን አካባቢ ግን ይበልጥ እንደ ድሬዳዋ አጥቂዎች የሆነ ግማሽ እድልን እንኳን አደገኛ ሙከራ ማድረግ የሚያስችል ኳሊቲ ያጡ ይመስለኛል። ልዩነታቸው ትልቁ ይመስለኛል።
በጨዋታው እንግዲህ ሁለቱ ቡድኖች ከመልበሻ ክፍል ንግግር በኋላ ለውጦች ሊኖሩ ይችሉ ይሆናል። ቅያሬዎችን እንጠብቃለን። በእንቅስቃሴ የታመመ የሚመስለው ወልቂጤ ከተማ ነው። ስለዚህ ቅያሬዎች
ማነው ነው ትልቁ ጥያቄ። ስለ ስኳድ እያነሳ ነበረው ፏድ አብደላ። እኔ እንደውም አንዳንዴ 9 ቁጥር ላይ ተጫዋች ለምን አይሞክሩትም አሰልጣኝ ሙሉጌታ አላለው። ጥሩ መሽሎክ የሚችል መስመር ላይ ጥሩ ድሪብለር ከመሆኑ አንጻር 9 ቁጥር ላይ አንዳንዴ እንደዚህ ተጫዋች ላይ መቆመር የሚያስፈልግ ይመስለኛል። ከዛ ውጭ ከቤንች ላይ ውጤት የሚቀይር ተጫዋች አለ ካልከኝ እርግጠኛ አይደለሁ። በድሬዳዋ በኩል ግን እንደምታየው ስኳዱ በጣም የተሻለ ኳሊቲ አለ።
እንግዲህ ሁለተኛው ግማሽ የጨዋታ ክፍለ ጊዜ ሊጀምር ሁለቱ ቡድኖች ከመልበሻ ክፍል እየወጡ ነው የሚገኙት። ሁለተኛውን ግማሽ የጨዋታ ክፍለ ጊዜ እንድትከታተሉ ከወዲሁ ጋብዛችኋለን። ከሱፐር ስፖርት የሻምፒዮኖች ዓለም በልዩ ቻናል ጨዋታ ወደ እናንተ የሚደርስ ይሆናል። ስንመለስ የሚጠበቅ ጨዋታ አለ። ምናልባት ባለፉት 5 ሳምንታት ጥሩ እየተንቀሳቀሱ የሚገኙት ኢትዮጵያ መድን ድርጅት ከአዳማ ከነማ ጋር ጨዋታቸውን ያደርጋሉ።
Keep your wheels rolling every week with Toyota Cadence as we bring you the very latest from the world of cycling. Road, track, and trail. Toyota Cadence will keep you up to date with the newest tech, training, and racing trends. Discover what makes the top riders tick. Meet the people that keep them rolling and find out where and when to ride your bike. Don't get dropped. Stay with a peloton with Toyota Cadence, only on Supersport. This broadcast is proudly brought to you by Toyota.
To the folks that are close to now it's okay.
This is golf's global tour across 5 continents. The race to Dubai is on. Every week counts.
There is your champion, Dean Gormister. This was the shot of a champion. Louis Eustace is the Mauritius Open champion. Ronald Rugameo, first Ugandan ever to make the halfway comment. Darius Van Driel, the magical Kenema champion.
Jordan Gumberg captures the SDC championship.
We are seeing something very special here. Macero is back. Dylan Fratelli returns to the winner's circle on the DP World Tour.
His stardom confirmed.
RTE World Tour Championship winner from Denmark, Nikolai Højgaard.
Stay connected to catch all the action live on Supersport.
The winner of the Race to Dubai rankings from Northern Ireland, Rory McIlroy.
Only on DSTV, the home of sport.
A bright start in the first half for Dire Dawa against Wolkite this afternoon in round 26 of the Ethiopian Premier League, with a penalty within the opening 4 minutes and then a goal 10 minutes later on the break from Carlos. Really put Dire Dawa into the ascendancy, which seemed to taper out a little bit with the resurgent Wolkite side towards halftime. We welcome you back then to the Awasa Stadium. We welcome you back to your World of Champions, and do thank you again for your patronage this afternoon. And we appreciate you joining us for the Ethiopian Premier League. Just 5 rounds and 15 points away from the end of the season. And at almost the way St. George are playing at the moment, appears that we will have new champions with St. George on 40 points, which is 13 behind Commercial Bank, and only 15 points remaining. So it seems unlikely that St. George will defend their title and win the Ethiopian Premier League for the 31st time. But change is not always a bad thing. At the bottom of the table, Shashameen on 13 points, 3 points behind Wolkite, who trailed by 2-0 here. And Mbericho at the bottom of the table, still with only the 1 victory the entire campaign, 19 losses and a minus 34 goal difference. Found themselves with just 8 points behind Wolkite. And with matches starting to run out, one feels for Mbericho, because it's going to take a large effort for the bottom side Mbericho to even hold on to their status. Only 3 teams really battling away for the relegation battle. Wolkite, who play today, and Shashameen and Mbericho. 13th placed Dicha on 28 points, already 15 points clear of Shashameen, so no problems as far as they're concerned from a relegation point of view. Wolkite and Temesgen get us underway for the start of the second half here in Hawassa. Coolish afternoon, 26 degrees centigrade, and overcast skies. Pitch that's played rather nicely this afternoon, unlike last week when we had torrential rain in the second match. The Fasil Wolkite game last week was played under a tremendous downpour, afternoon thunderstorm, and the pitch didn't do that well for the rest of the weekend either. But today the pitch looks in great condition. It's had a haircut, and conditions look rather nice. Wolkite playing in the red and white. They'll attack the goal to the right-hand side of your screen. Dire Dawa in the purple will play from right to left in the second half. Good to have you with us, as I said, on your World of Champions. Dire 2, Wolkite 0. One substitution that took place from Commander Chemeles as well, with Charles in that collision with goalkeeper Faris. Wasn't able to continue. His place taken by the 27-year-old Temezgen. We're up to the stage of the season. He'd only played twice and 79 minutes in total. Well, now, well over 100 minutes for the substitute. This is Degmawi. Just going in a rearguard action for the moment. Tudros with the clearance for Dire Dawa, and offside against the visitors as well. Nice discipline from Wolkite to start the half. And for what we saw towards the end of the first half, I reckon Wolkite will take a lot of confidence into the second half, knowing that they can at least apply pressure to the Dire Dawa penalty area. Going to see if they can do better than that and score a goal or two. Minus 24 goal difference. Not the best defense, and Temezgen maybe not as forceful enough in that penalty area between Yasu and Ismail. And Dire Dawa maybe got away with one there. It's a telling ball that was played into the area. Look where Tudros finds himself. And the ball landed on his head. But, yeah, just no sense of anticipation, really. Things that can be costly in a game. You've got to take those sort of opportunities when they present themselves. Sidama Coffee, Sidama Puna. They'll be in action on Saturday afternoon against St. George. So that's going to be an interesting one. Sidama Coffee down in 12th position on the table. And St. George 6 places above them. Jersey's been brandished all over the place in the dignitaries enclosure. Hawassa jersey in all blue there as well. Hawassa will be in action also on Sunday against Hadia. We are playing in Hawassa at the Hawassa Stadium for the next couple of weeks. Week 26 and week 27, week 28, 29 and 30 will be played in Addis Ababa. So there will be a little bit of a break between week 27 and 28, while the entourage of the Ethiopian Premier League moves to the capital city for the grand finale. Degmawi has done nicely here. Unfortunately, his momentum carries him off the pitch. What was the dressing room chat from Coach Murugeta? Wolkite finishing above Dire Dawa. No, they didn't. Wolkite finishing one position above where they currently are in the Ethiopian Premier League last season in 13th place, and Dire Dawa finishing in the 10th position. So they're also doing better than they did last season. And the way things are at the moment, a break into the top half of the table. Waiting for the enterprise to start from Wolkite. The sort of play that we saw before the halftime break. At the moment, it's Dire Dawa that are committing the errors. Wolkite with plenty of bat sport here in the second half. Wide by Meaden. This is Adane. They look cool, calm and collected. Daniel doing a bit of fetching and carrying for Wolkite. This is Wanda Megan, 22-year-old who plays for the 21st time today. Ball left a little behind by Gadisa, and shows the desperation in defense from Dire Dawa. They really have been facing an onslaught from Wolkite since the restart, and 5 minutes into the second half, it's been all Wolkite so far. Might not have been any shots at the goal of Abayu, but the groundwork is being created here, the foundations of a potentially good second half. Temezgen. Wide by Misse. Adani. Wolkite is still looking very purposeful indeed. Dire Dawa watchful at the moment, maybe sensing that this would be the game plan from their opponent today, and therefore in the first 10-15 minutes of the second half they need to be watchful. They certainly are being watchful. It's a good touch here. Medin leaves it behind. There's still some pressure to come, though, from Adani. Somehow whipped away by Ismail. They're looking quite good on the ball at the moment, Wolkite. Game plan working at the moment for Coach Mulugeta. This is Temesgen. Not really much support around him, and the last touch certainly came from Tudros, the right back. Coming into this match, he'd only played 146 minutes, so heading up towards 200 minutes of football. For Dire Dawa is the fullback. They're working hard at the moment, Dire Dawa, defensively. Another throw in here with Getu. Tricky play by Gadisa, the right winger. So patience being shown by Dire Dawa defensively. They haven't given anything away. In fact, they haven't allowed Wolkite to pull the trigger to any great degree in the opening 7 minutes of the second half. It's a matter of time before we see Dire Dawa consolidate and start making box entries of their own. Getu. And it just shows the game plan of Dire Dawa, just all the way back from Tudros. Not willing to hang on to possession. They'll just bang it back over the halfway line and get Wolkite to reconsolidate. Dire Dawa leading by 2-0. The 2 goals came early. Nice header away by Ismail. Faris will clear. Now, second ball for Degmawi. Nice little first touch from him as well. Good turn too from Surafel. And he has been a thorn in the flesh of Wolkite. First time we're seeing box entries from Dire Dawa in the second half. Ball doesn't reach Carlos. Mesgen calling for the ball to be played deep as well, and maybe if Carlos had allowed the ball to run through to Mesgen, would have had an opportunity to score his first Premier League goal. Fascinating as well that Carlos was playing down the left wing for Dire Dawa before moving into a more central position with the injury to Charles. Mesgen, who came on, went on to the left-hand side. Carlos, much more the lone central striker at the moment for Dire Dawa. Don't forget, there's another match coming up at 1700 Central African time. Former strugglers Insurance against Ladama. Insurance have put a good, very, very good run together in most recent times and had that 5-0 victory over the side in purple here today, Dire Dawa, last week. So they'll be brimming with confidence against 5th place Ladama. That'll be a good one. So please stay tuned for that on your World of Champions. In the meantime, here we're not quite 10 minutes into the second half. Degmawi for a rare opportunity to attack. Carlos on the turn. Just for a moment, the two centre-backs of Wolkite, Mise and Wondermegan, hung back a little. Nice ball from Degmawi. Yeah, it almost looked like he was offside. There was no flag from the assistant referee, however. Shot was well past the post. There's the difference between the two sides. 12 creative efforts to the 5 of Dire Dawa against Wolkite. Out of the 5 creative efforts, 3 on target. Dire Dawa only at 50%, and I say only because Wolkite not doing much better as far as shots on target are concerned. But out of those shots on target, nothing to test the scoring. Still remains Dire Dawa 2, Wolkite 0. Surafel bottled up by 3 players in red, including Malualem, the holding midfielder. Wide by Daniel. This is Adani. And the pressure created by Gagan for the ball to go past the 21-year-old. Foul by Daniel. Free kick to Dire. Now he's a hard man in the midfield. I don't think there was any intent there. So Gagan seemed to be almost going down as the midfielder came into the play, and maybe the foul initially was created by Meaden anyway. Nice to see Gagan back on his feet. Click on from Tibetscan. Now there's nobody on the left-hand side to pick up second ball for Blidao, so that move didn't quite work out for the visitors. Nice interchange of passes from Wolkite to Daniel and Samson. Ends up with Getu, the fullback. Finds his fullback on the opposite side, Adani. Done some good running today. Daniel. They are playing the ball rather nicely here. Good passing rate from Wolkite. Daniel again, Samson, the first ball, easily away by Yasu. Now the counter-attack from Surafel, full of ideas, full of running. The defense was full of purpose from Malualem. Medin. Daniel thought he was going to pull the trigger for a moment. This is Getu. Looking for the return pass. I almost thought he was going to make a little one of those angled runs down the touchline. The opposite side, it certainly came from Adani, but he's running to Gagan. Another promising looking attack from Wolkite. He certainly got his team playing nicely, has Coach Mulugeta. First touch wasn't good enough for the fullback. But he's having a good match. Wolkite might be trailing by 2-0, but they've managed to accomplish 100 more passes than their opponent, clean passes. And that's impressive in itself. And yeah, Wolkite, the way they're playing, one cannot write them off in any stage of the game. They won 3 times the entire season. Only away victory came against Shashameen on the 3rd of December, followed by the victory against Hempericho. So back-to-back victories for the only time in the season for Hempericho against the 2 sides that are below them. And if you want to stay away from relegation, that's the way to do things. Tibetscan with a little touch. Carlos, that's a handball. And a penalty. No doubt about the handball. Plenty parties, Wonder Megan. Referee spot on with a call. Could see it immediately. He's claiming that it was in his chest. Disappointment for the 22-year-old. But it is going to be the second penalty of the game. An opportunity for Dire Dawa to not quite put this to bed, but to score 3 goals for just the second time in the season, Dire Dawa. Yeah, and there's no way that was anywhere near the chest. Came straight across him, almost off the palm of his hand. Wonder Megan, there's no defense for that. This will give us a perfect angle. That's a penalty. So Carlos looks as if he might be the player to take the penalty and score a brace here. Wonder Megan with the yellow card. The referee formulating that was a deliberate handball. So for the second time in the match, Ferris faces up to a penalty. Surafel in the 4th minute, and here in the 61st, it's Carlos who scored in the 14th minute, and looking to make it 3-0 and to complete his brace. Carlos hasn't had a brace this season so far. So opportunity to create a little bit of a personal history as well. And Dire to score 3 goals without reply in a match. I'll tell you about the other time that they've done that this season. It's quite an emphatic one. Carlos. Keepers almost gets the right way. In fact, he left his legs behind. It was almost a save from Perez. He's beaten for the 3rd time. Dire Dawa scored their 3rd. A brace for Carlos, who looks across to his teammates rather sheepishly, as if to suggest, well, that was close. And a brace for Carlos. 2nd goal of the match, 7th of the season. And Dire Dawa emphatically now lead by 3 goals to 0. The only other time they've scored 3 goals, and in fact they won that match by 3 goals to 0, was away against St George on the final weekend of January. As we have a look at the handball again for Wanda Megan, that led to the yellow card and the penalty. Nicely converted by Carlos. You can see a little bit of nervousness in there as far as dived, but it was still an opportunity for him to make the save with the ball going the direct route. Celebration for Dire Dawa as the ball hits the back of the net. Don't forget, just last Friday, Dire Dawa were losing against Insurance, or did lose against Insurance by 5 goals to 0. It's quite some turnaround by Dire Dawa this afternoon. Changes in defense have worked wonders. So what can Wolkite offer? Played nicely at the start of the half. Problems for Surafel at the bottom of your screen. He's limping around rather awkwardly. Back on his feet, though, is the influential midfielder. No changes made yet by Wolkite in the 2nd half. Either in the 2nd half for Dire Dawa, who made just that one change in the 1st half. It's a nice turn from Getu. I think the referee will play an advantage here if there is some. Well, there wasn't. Didn't come back for the foul either. Enterprising play from Abel. And again, the packed midfield from Wolkite does the business. Wide by Malualem. Adani. Samson. They really do get the ball into good areas. Ismail with the clearance for Dire Dawa. Wolkite, you saw by the previous graphic, 302 passes to 202 in completed passes for Wolkite. Yet they trailed by 3 goals to 0. So it's, I suppose it's like spending time at home. You can spend all the time at home if you like, but if there's no quality in it, there's no value. And time on the ball as well, and the amount of passes they're putting together is impressive, but no final result, unfortunately, for Wolkite, not yet anyway. And leading by 3 goals to 0 for Dire Dawa. Certainly would fancy the 3 points and a place in the top half of the table overnight anyway. Dekmawi. Combination of Yasu and Ismail looking to keep a clean sheet. There hasn't been a clean sheet for Dire Dawa since the 1-0 win against Shashamene a month ago. Nice ball through to Mezgen. The bounce of the ball doesn't benefit the 24-year-old striker. I just don't think he's purposeful enough. I don't think he's assertive enough in that final third is to Mezgen. He's playing for the 22nd time today, so there's obviously value in the youngster who has 2 goals to his credit. Carlos with a foul on Getu. 11 fouls apiece. 20 minutes into the 2nd half. Kadisa with a floater, headed away by Yasu. Adani finds Daniel offside. Just the final product isn't rounded enough. It's not quite working for Wolkite. Whatever Dire Dawa did in the past week after that drubbing in their worst results of the season against Insurance has paid dividends here. Have a look at the handball once again. That led to the penalty taken by Carlos. Shooting down their opponent. It's quite interesting, the game of football sometimes, because we've come from the worst result of the season to a joint best result of the season so far. If it ends like this, or maybe even better for Dire Dawa. So yeah, it's been quite interesting what might have happened and transpired in the training ground over the last week. Yeah, considering that Dire Dawa are today playing against a side that are third from bottom on the table, just outside of the drop zone. Able with some good consolidation along with Henok. Doesn't last long. Get you for Wolkite. Wonder Megan. Now Adani. Ooh, it's a bit of a mess, I beg your pardon. Week 26 of the Ethiopian Premier League. Next round of matches will take place right at the end of May, 30th and 31st, Thursday, Friday, and 1st and 2nd of June, Saturday and Sunday. And season will end on Sunday, the 30th of June. Dire Dawa will take on the defensively side Metchal away from home, and Wolkite will be up against mid-table or high riders Adama, 5th place at the moment. Who knows what the fate of Wolkite will be by the stage that they meet Adama on the final day of the Ethiopian Premier League. It's good defense from Abayu. Came off his line, looked to play keeper sweeper under the presence of Temesgen, but once again, we speak about the assertiveness of Temesgen that's not quite developed in the style of the Wolkite striker. It's a foul by Carlos. Wonder Megan straight back on his feet. It is a free kick though to Wolkite. We're over halfway through the second half in Awasa. Gatisa. Malualem. Good defense from Dire Dawa, because there's absolutely nothing coming from the midfield of Wolkite on that occasion. They go wide to Adane. They've run out of gas at the moment, Wolkite. It's almost as if the 3-0 scoreline is too much to bear. They are about to make a substitution, though, the home side. In the meantime, fighting a bit of a rearguard action here with Wonder Megan under pressure from Temesgen. So a triple substitution, it looks like. Temesgen leaving the field of play. So is Kadisa. We'll give you the changes in a moment. So Kadisa's left the field of play, so is Temesgen. And also Mulualem, the holding midfielder. So Wolkite bring on a midfielder in Mohammed, who came on as a substitute in the last match against Fasil. And he played for the 10th time. All of the appearances appear to be off the bench because he's only played 125 minutes. Opportunity here for Dire Dawa, though. Degmawi. Over enthusiastic from the fullback. All allowed to slip under the feet of the new man who wasn't able to orchestrate his first touch in the 21 jersey. That's Daniel. Also played as a substitute against the Fasil last week. And the other change brings Fuad Abdallah, the under-23 player. He's 21 years old. And all 3 players that have arrived on the field played in the second half against Ethiopia, against Brazil in that 1-0 loss. Wolkite at the moment will stay 3 points above Shashameen, but their goal difference is not looking that good to challenge and retain their place in the Ethiopian Premier League. Minus 25 at the moment. Shashameen with minus 17. Stranger things have happened in the game of football, but Mechal at the moment, the Defence Force side, challenging for honours in the Ethiopian Premier League and playing at home. It's going to be, one feels, another tough day at the office for Shashameen. Time will tell, I suppose. And the match on Friday, that's tomorrow, is second place, or third place, Baheda against Dicha, who are fourth from bottom. In the meantime, more pressure on the goalkeeper. That's a foul. It'll go in favour of Wolkite. Got himself into a spot of bother, but the keeper came out bravely, Ferris. Well, both players had every right to go for the ball. Carlos and Ferris. Certainly no foul this time. In fact, I think the foul's gone against the man who scored a brace against Ferris this afternoon, and that's the 21-year-old Carlos. Never easy when you go into a challenge with somebody who's got their knees up, as goalkeeper Ferris had, looking to punch the ball at the same time, but no damage done to the goal of Wolkite, or should I say, no further damage, because there's a lot of damage that's been done already in the afternoon. A lot of concern around the goalkeeper of Wolkite, lots of concern around Carlos as well. Referee taking notes, taking time as well. Well, that was a little slip from Daniel that allowed Carlos in for an opportunity. And then his challenge with Wanda Megan and Ferris. Heading up towards the half-hour mark, and again, a substantial amount of time will be added on to the end of the second half, just as it was in the first when Ferris came off his line and injured Charles, who went off with an injury. These were the goals that came in the match. Sort of fell with a penalty. Carlos with a penalty as well, and in the middle of that, Carlos with a goal from open play. That is the handball from Wanda Megan, who picked up a yellow card for that. The penalty converted by Carlos in the 62nd minute. Adding another string to his bow as far as the 2 goals that he scored today. Tally up to 7 now for the 21-year-old in the league season. That's very impressive. Still, the injuries haven't been sorted out on the field of play. Wolkite making that triple substitution. Carlos picks up a yellow card for his intervention, and I think the referee's been pretty fair today, consistent. I think that's what the players appreciate, is that the referees are consistent. Half an hour into the second half, 15 minutes remaining. Have a look at this again. That was the challenge that led to Charles leaving the field of play. Big hit on Charles by Wolkite's Ferris. The goalkeeper picked up a yellow card for that. Carlos himself has committed 4 fouls this afternoon and scored 2 goals and been really involved in most of the attacks coming from Dire Dawa. Mulugeta looks at his watch. He knows, though, there's Still plenty of time remaining here at Awasa. Referees issued 5 yellow cards so far. His average is around about 5.5 per match. It takes his tally from 81 yellow cards to 86. No sendings off in this match, but certainly there are some candidates for it. In the meantime, the Wolkite goalkeeper still with some running repairs. Goalkeeper who started against Fasil, Mise, who is warming up at the moment as we look for a double change here from Dire Dawa. Looks like Iyasu is making way. Abel will pick up the captaincy. That's the first of the changes. Ephraim will be on for Dire Dawa. Just look to consolidate matters before we get to full time here in Awasa. And Adinan is also going to make an appearance. So Sudafel, who was limping around rather awkwardly a few moments ago, has had his place taken as well. So a change in captaincy. Abel takes over the captain's armband, and there'll be a change in goal as well for Wolkite. The man who started against Vasil comes off the bench and will play for the final few minutes here. It's been a rough afternoon for Coach Mulugeta. Yet another defeat. It'll be 7 matches with just 1 point. And when you're fighting the relegation battle, yeah, it's really not good enough. We say playing for just the 5th time this season. First time as a substitute, 28-year-old. Gets the okay from the referees to take his place between the posts. Now it's been a tough afternoon for the 26-year-old goalkeeper. Huge collision with Charles that led to his yellow card. 2 penalties that have been converted past him. Now this latest injury in the collision with Carlos. Playback underway though. There'll be a considerable amount of stoppage time added on, and Wolkite surely now must throw caution to the wind. All away by Tudros. Consolidation for Wolkite at the moment, just getting used to all the new players on the field of play. A couple of new players on for Dire Dawa as well. Ephraim, who plays for the 18th time today, the 30-year-old midfielder. And a man who's come on in the midfield as well. Came on as a sub in that loss against Insurance last week. Then at 23. Yeah, frustrated goalkeeper Faris. It's been a tough day at the office for Wolkite. It's been a tough day at the office for this man. Playing against a side that promised a lot in the beginning of the season. Didn't really maybe deliver as much as what the promise was. Have a look at the statistics from a Dire Dawa point of view. At one stage they were 4th on the table, and then again in week 17 up in 7th place, but mostly been in the bottom of the table for the campaign. 10 minutes in stoppage time away from full time in Awasa. At least second half stoppage time, of which there will be a considerable amount. For Wolkite, the highest they've been in the season is 11th on the table. And that was in week 10 at the beginning of December, after beating Impericho and Shashameen in back-to-back victories. But always around about 14th and 15th place since latter stages of the campaign. In fact, since week 8. dropping into 14th place. They've never been above 14th place since week 8 up until now. Wolkite fighting the relegation battle for an awfully long time. Dagmawi doing a spot of defending. Is there time for Wolkite to put at least a consolation goal back? We spoke about the 3 goals that they scored in consecutive matches against the sides in the top 3 in the Ethiopian Premier League. Dire Dawa in April, the beginning of May against Mechal, and then against Commercial Bank a week later. And they lost all of those matches, but at least they scored consolation goals in them. Still only 10 goals in the season. They conceded 1.5 times more than that. 25 goals conceded now, or 25 goal difference. Enoch's had a good match today for Dire Dawa, and they're going to have to do a spot of defending, one feels, because suddenly Wolkite are discovering the sort of form that we saw towards the end of the first half, where they really started playing some good football, Wolkite. Ball possession was impressive. Now, will it be Adane or will it be Getu? To strike the free kick. Substitution time in the meanwhile. For Dire Dawa, is the referee going to permit that, or are we going to see? No, we are going to see the substitutions taking place. Temesgen, who came on as a substitute, is going to make way. I didn't see too much of a contribution from Temesgen, to be honest, the 27-year-old. I can understand why coming into this encounter he'd only played for 79 minutes. And Enoch has also made way from the midfield. So free kick now. It's going to be barreled in, isn't it? No, unlucky for Wolkite. Keeper came out, missed the ball altogether. And Wolkite couldn't convert, and it's been that sort of day for Coach Mulugeta. Mohammed was the first substitute used when he came on for striker Temesgen. Great opportunity for Wolkite. Yeah, when the ball doesn't roll for you, it's certainly quite devastating at times. Have a look at this opportunity. Gets behind the goalkeeper, comes off the post when it looked as if the ball was going to sneak into that left-hand upright. Lovely delivery from Adane. Keeper absolutely non-committal. Cleared off the line by Tudros. It's a great opportunity. Closest they've come today. And by the width of the woodwork, maybe even closer than that. Dire Dawa managed to hold on to their clean sheet. Quite incredible game of football. Forcing the issue again in midfield for Wolkite. They've won a free kick here. Have the home side. He feels at some stage that Wolkite will deserve to pull a goal back. Wolkite overall possession, 10% more than a side that lead by 3 goals to 0. It's not what you have as far as possession is concerned, and what you do with the ball, I suppose. Way by Ismail for Dire Dawa. They're under pressure here. This is exactly what you want to see from a side near the pen, near the drop zone. Concerted pressure, wave after wave of it. We're 5 minutes in stoppage time. That needs to be played before we have full time. Yeah, foot up from both players, and then it was a handball in as well from the Dire Dawa player. Muhaddin, 24-year-old, came on as a substitute, playing for the 17th time this season. The other man who came on is Siam, a defender, who's still a teenager. Played for the 16th time, the under-23. He played 234 minutes coming into this encounter, so mostly as a substitute. He's played, same for Muhaddin. Concern here for Dire Dawa. I don't think there'll be panic though. They lead by 3-0. Adane's caused some problems with his set pieces. We saw that moment earlier on with Mohammed hitting the uprights. Does he go directly towards the goal now? He certainly does. Well, in the manner of speaking. Wasted opportunity really from the 21-year-old fullback. 13 goal attempts to 7 in favor of Dire Dawa. Both have hit perhaps 50% of their chances on target. And for Dire Dawa, 3 out of the 7 have beaten the keeper. Yeah, 2 of them came from the penalty spot, but still, it's got to be done, got to be converted. Adani. There's still some purpose about Wolkite, and so there should be. There's a season to rescue here. Question is, can they at least pull 1 goal back? Adani forward again. He's been probably a player that's been most impressive for Wolkite today. Hence the number of ball that's gone wide onto the left-hand side. Good defense, though, from Siam. As a Gagan limps off for Dire Dawa, and they've made 5 substitutions, so he's not able to continue. Then the last 2 minutes of regulation time plus what will likely be as much as the 5 minutes that was added on to the first half by referee Chudros still to play. So potentially 7 minutes down to 10 men for Dire Dawa, and that's due to injury. Free kick for Wolkite in the meantime. Headed in the wrong direction from Chudros and company. Danger averted, but they are inviting trouble again, Dire Dawa. Lovely ball floated in, and clearance is made rather emphatically. They'll have to do the business again, though. Pise, Daniel can't return the pass, and the captain is able to clear a ball away. Medin back in defense with a pass. Abel again trying to disrupt the Wolkite attack here. Dire Dawa still down to 10 men. This is Samson looking enterprising. Nice second ball for Medin. Hasn't scored yet this season as the teenager. Now we're in the final minutes of regulation time, and Dire Dawa's only hopes are from the counter-attack. This man's on a hat-trick, Carlos. Scored his first brace of the campaign, looks for the near post. Well, sort of, I suppose. Waiting for the signal from the 4th official, Daniel, for how much added time there's going to be. Yeah, the intention was good. I think they dropping back, Mise just closed down the angle for the ball to reach the far post. And Carlos had to just hit what he had at his disposal. Abel, in the meantime, goes behind Carlos. It's a lovely turn in the midfield by Daniel. Eight minutes of time added on to the end of the second half. Well, we had 5 in the first, 8 in the second, and still with all of that time, Wolkite with some very good stats in the match. More corners, greater passing rate, more possession, and yet they've conceded 3 goals. And although they had that ball through Mohammed come back off the upright, it just hasn't been their day whatsoever. Wolkite's next match will be against 4th placed Ethiopia Coffee in a home match here in Awasa. In the meantime, another goal beckoning for Dire Dawa. Wolkite to play Ethiopia Coffee Day on Thursday next week. Continuation of their Thursday appearances. Will be their third in a row as the ball goes wide from Carlos. It's going to be a corner though for Dire Dawa. For Dire Dawa, they have a match at home on Friday, the final day of May against St. George. And early on in the season, they might have scared them to bits. But at this stage of the season, with St. George having not picked up a win in 7 matches, maybe there's a different approach to this encounter, or that encounter, by Commander Shemelez. Adnan, it's not a bad ball. And just as we saw in the Dire Dawa penalty area, with that header away by Ismail and Tudros. This time it's Wolkite who performed the defensive role rather adequately. Nicely done by Adane. Plenty of whistle from Mr. Tudros. 2 minutes of stoppage time have elapsed. 6 more to play. Adane having a chat to the referee, the captain Samson having a chat to him as well. Ephraim suggesting that the ball has to be knocked into the penalty area. Adane in the meantime does pick up a yellow card. That must have been the protest that we had from the fullback, who's really played well today. Nice punch away from goalkeeper Mise. Came on for the injured Faris. First intervention we've seen from him, and it's an emphatic one. Muhyiddin offside. Coach Shemelez and Coach Mulugeta. Bottom half of the table, minus 25 goal difference, 16 points, opening the door for Shashameen potentially. Dire Dawa at the top of the table will move into 8th position. Victory almost a fait accompli with only 5 minutes remaining in second half stoppage time. Nice ball through the middle by Siam. Adnan came on as a substitute. Adnan just bullied out of that position by Daniel. It's nice play by Daniel of Wolkite, the number 21 jersey. This is where Dire Dawa have been the most effective. When they, on the flank, when they find spaces. Carlos, space at the back post, wasted by Muhyiddin. Offside anyway. Offside for the second time in the space of a few minutes. The 24-year-old to substitute. Chimile is just waiting for the final whistle to blow. He's standing offside all the while here. Is Muhyiddin. Didn't test goalkeeper Mise anyway. Space for the header, wide by Mohammed. Smile on the face of the 21-year-old. Coming into his 10th encounter after only having played 2 hours of football this season so far. Very nearly scored his first goal of the season. Inside of the upright is pretty tantalizing. Medin, he's gotten behind Ismail. Nice attack from Wolkite. Again, nobody at home to make the final pass. Medin arrives late. Ball's away by Degmawi anyway. And now it's able to consolidate. 5 minutes played in second half stoppage time of the 8. You have 3 minutes still remaining in Awasa. That's good pressure on Samson, or from Samson on Siam. Dire Dawa will have a free kick. Spoke about the last matches for Wolkite, Ethiopia Coffee, Awasa, Hambericho, and Adama. For Dire Dawa, St. George, Hadia, Sidama Coffee, and Mechal. There's some big names in there. St. George and Mechal. defending champions and team that's 3 points behind Commercial Bank on the table. Now, it's been a tough afternoon for Wolkite. Let's get in the center of your picture at opportunities. I really would like to see the 24-year-old develop, maybe put a bit of weight on and have the confidence to be more assertive inside that penalty area. Wolkite with another set-piece opportunity. Atane misses out. Easy clearance for Dire Dawa. 90 seconds away from full time now. Now Wolkite, while they missed an opportunity, Dire Dawa have been able to convert theirs, and yeah, one could argue 2 penalties, and you look at them and you say, yeah, how much controversy is there with those? And I can tell you that there was none. Both of the penalties awarded were absolutely fair and square from referee Chudros. And the goal from Carlos on the breakaway with a lovely through ball from Surafel was just as impressive. Yeah, Coach Mulugeta will have to go back to the drawing board before his meeting on Thursday next week against Ethiopia Coffee. While Dire Dawa, it's onward and upward after that loss against Insurance. A great fight back here against Wolkite, and they'll go into the St. George match, which will be very tough indeed, no doubt, against a suffering defending champions team. But Dire Dawa will go into that match with growing confidence, no doubt. Don't forget, in an hour's time, we'll have the kickoff in the next match of the day, Insurance against the Dama. 5th place at Dama against the ever-improving Insurance, who've moved away from the relegation battle and now find themselves all of 20 points away from any threat of relegation and completely safe for next season. It was a great season they had in the previous campaign, Insurance, finishing 3rd on the table between St. George and Baheda, but wait to see what happens in the next match. This one ends in a victory for Dire Dawa. Wolkite a beaten side. Carlos with the brace, one from the penalty spot, one from broken play. Surafel scored from the penalty spot as well, after goalkeeper Faris had fouled Charles, who wasn't able to continue beyond the 4th minute. A clean sheet for Abayu, and the first clean sheet in 4 matches then for Dire Dawa. It's been a match that Wolkite had something to take out of, with their possession, with their passing rate, and with their corners as well. But no goals for Wolkite today. They'll stay just above the relegation zone, while Dire Dawa will go into the top half of the table with an emphatic bounce-back performance here today. Carlos with the brace, Surafel with a penalty. Dire Dawa win emphatically today by 3-0.
ተመልካቾቻችን የቀኑ ጨዋታ እንደተከታተላችሁት ተጠናቋል። አሸናፊ ሆኖ እንግዲህ Dire Dawa Kenema ይህንን ጨዋታ ሙሉ 3 ነጥብ መውሰድ ችሏል። በደረጃ ሰንጠረዡ Dire Dawa Kenema ይህንን ጨዋታ ማሸነፉን ተከትሎ ያሳለፍነው የውድድር ዓመት የተጠጋበትና የደረሰበት ቦታ ላይ ለመድረስ አንድ ጨዋታ ብቻ ያንሰዋል። ስለዚህ 37 ነጥቦች ላይ ተቀምጧል። ወልቂጤ ከተማ በደረጃ ሰንጠረዡ 16 ነጥቦችን ይዞ 14ኛ ደረጃ ላይ ይገኛል። 25 የግብ ዕዳዎች አሉ። ዛሬ 3 ጎሎች ተቆጥረውበታል። በጨዋታው እንግዲህ የማጥቂያ መነሻዎቹ ከመሃል የሚነሱ ፔኔትሬሽን ኳሶች ወደ 10 የሚጠጉ ነበሩ። ከቀኝና ከግራ የሚነሱ የማጥቂያ መነሻዎች ላይ ጥራት ያላቸውን እንቅስቃሴ ለማድረግ ወልቂጤ ከተማዎች የተቸገሩበት ነበረ። ነገር ግን ያደገውን እንቅስቃሴ በተለይም ደግሞ የድሬ ዳዋ ከነማ የማጥቃት አቅም ከመሃል በተለይም ደግሞ ለጎሎቹ መነሻ የሚሆኑ ፔኔትሬሽን ኳሶች ወደ 7 የሚጠጉ ሂደቶች ላይ ተሳትፎ ማድረግ ችሏል። ከጨዋታው በኋላ እንግዲህ የጨዋታው ጎል አስቆጣሪ በጨዋታው የተሻለ እንቅስቃሴ ካደረጉ ተጫዋቾች መካከል ካርሎስ ዳምጠው አንዱ ነው። ከካርሎስ ዳምጠው ጋር ቆይታ የምናደርግ ይሆናል። ስለ ዛሬው ጨዋታ አጠቃላይ ስለ 3 ነጥብ ስላሳለፍነው ሳምንት ስለነበራቸው ዝቅታና ስለተነሱበት የዛሬው ጨዋታ የሚነግረን ይሆናል። እንኳን ደስ አለህ።
እንኳን አብሮ ደስ አለህ።
እስኪ ስለ ጨዋታው ንገረኝ። እንዴት ነበር ጨዋታው? ያሳለፍነው ሳምንት ተሸንፋችሁ ነው የመጣችሁት፣ በብዙ ጎል ነው የተሸነፋችሁት። ስለዚህ ጨዋታ እያሰባችሁ ስትመጡ ምን ነበር እቅዳችሁ?
ያው ባለፈ ሳምንት ትንሽ በታሪካችንም የሌለ ውጤት አስመዝግበናል። አልጠበቅንም እንደዛ እንሸነፋለን ብለን፣ ግን ከዛ ማገገም ያስፈልገን ነበረ። ምክንያቱም ጥሩ ይዘን የመጣነው ነጥብ ድጋሚ እዚህ ሐዋሳ ከመጣ በኋላ ማሸነፍ አልቻልንም ነበረ። ስለዚህ ያ ጨዋታ ደግሞ አደገኛ ነበር ለኛ። ግን ከዛ ጨዋታ ለማገገም በደንብ ሰርተናል። የተሻለ ውጤት ለማምጣት ነው ዛሬ ቆርጠን የተነሳ ነውና እግዚአብሔር ይመስገን አሸንፈናል።
ፈጥናችሁ ጎል ማስቆጠራችሁ ምን ያክል ጨዋታውን እንድትቆጣጠሩ ረዳችሁ?
ያው መጀመሪያ ጎል ስታገባ ኮንፊደንስ ይኖርሃል። ምክንያቱም ወልቂጤ ጠንካራ ቲም ነው። ምክንያቱም ካለበት ደረጃ ከፍ ማለት ይችላል፣ የመውረድ ስጋት ስላለበት። እኛ ደግሞ እንደምታውቀው ባለፈው ሳምንት መጥፎ ሽንፈት ከተሸነፍን በኋላ ከዛ ማገገም ስላለብን ነው ቀድመን ተጭነን መጫወት እንዳለብን ከአሰልጣኞቻችን የአራቱ ቀን ልምምድ እዛ ላይ ነበር ፎከስ አድርገን ይሰራ ነው እና ቀድመን ካገባን መድገም እንደምንችልና እንደውም እነሱ ሰለብሬት እንዳታረጉ ነው ያሉት። ቶሎ ቶሎ ለማግባት የባለፈውን ለመካስ ነው መሞከር ያለብን ብለው ተነጋግረን ነበር። እግዚአብሔር ይመስገን ያሰብነውን አሳክተናል ብዬ አስባለሁ።
የዛሬው ጨዋታ ላይ ምንድነው አንተ ሞር ወደ ጎል እንድትጠጋ ጎል እንድታስቆጥር ያገዘ?
እንትናችን ቀይረናል። ዛሬ ፎርሜሽናችን ቀይረናል። ሌላ ጊዜ 4-3 የምንጫወተውን ዛሬ 3-5-2 ነበር የተጫወትነው። ነገር ግን እኔ ነፃ ሚና ነበር የተሰጠኝ። ምክንያቱም ፈርስት ስትራይከር ቻርለስን አድርገው እኔ ወደ መሀል እያገዝኩኝ፣ ምክንያቱም የወልቂጤ ብዙ ኳስ ተቆጣጥሮ የሚጫወቱ ልጆች አሉ። ስለዚህ እነሱን የኳስ ብልጫ ለመውሰድ የግድ መሀላችን መብዛት አለብንና የማገኘው ነፃ ስፔስ ነበር ስጠቀም የነበረው። እንደምታየው ወደ ዳርም ወደ መሀልም እየገባሁ ነበር የሚጫወተው። ያ ነው የጎል ክፍተቶችን እንዳገኝ ያደረገኝ።
ከጨዋታው በፊት 3 ጎል አስቆጥራለሁ ብሏል የሚል ነገር ሰምቼ ነበርና ያን ነገር እንድትል ያስገደደ ነገር ምንድን ነው?
ያው እንግዲህ ቀስቱ ረስቷል ወይም አልቆበታል ተብሏል። ያንን ቀስት በደንብ ይዤ ነበር የመጣሁት እና እርግጠኛ ነበርኩኝ 3 ጎል አገባለሁ ብዬ የነበረው እና መልበሻ ክፍልም ከጨዋታ ፊትም ለአሰልጣኞችም ስናገር ነበር። ግን ይቅርታ እንግዲህ ቃሌ መተግበር ባለመቻሌ
አንድ የመጨረሻ ጥያቄ ልጠይቅ። የፍጹም ቅጣት ምት ጥያቄ ነበረ ልትመታ ስትል ምንድን ነው የተባባላችሁት?
ያው እውነት ለመናገር የፍጹም ቅጣት ምት ትሬኒንግ ቀን ያልነበርኩ አጋጣሚ ተጎድቼ ነበርና የዛን ቀን ፍጹም ቅጣት በሚመታ ሰዓት ሱራፌል ነበር ሰሌክት የተደረገችው። ዛሬም ፕሪማች ላይ እሷ እንድትመታ ነበር የተነገራት። እኔ ደግሞ ቶፕ ስኮረር መሆን ፈልጋለሁ፣ መጠጋት ፈልጋለሁ። የመጀመሪያውን የግድ ሪስፔክት መስጠት አለብኝ። 2 አገባን። ከዛ ወዲህ ደግሞ ጎል በደንብ እንድጠጋ ጠየኳት። እሷን ፈቃደኛ ሆነች። በዚህ አጋጣሚ አመሰግናታለሁ።
አመሰግናለሁ። እንኳን ደስ አለህ። ቀደም ሲል እንግዲህ ካርሎስ ዳምጠው የሰጠውን አስተያየት ነው የተከታተላችሁት። በፍጹም ቅጣት ምት በተለይም ደግሞ ወደ ላይ ለመጠጋት ስለምፈልግ ጥያቄ አቅርቤለት ያን ሰጥቶኛል፣ አመሰግናለሁ ብሏል። 15 የግብ ሙከራዎችን ድሬዳዋ ከነማዎች አድርገው 7ቱ ኢላማቸውን ጠብቀው 3ቱ ተቆጥሮላቸዋል። በወልቂጤ ከተማ በኩል 8-3 ኢላማቸውን የጠበቁ ሙከራዎች፣ ነገር ግን ጎል ማስቆጠር አልቻሉም። በኳስ ቁጥጥር 56-44 ከመቶ የኳስ ቁጥጥር ነበር። ነገር ግን ወደ መጨረሻ የሜዳ ክፍል ላይ የመጠጋትና ኢላማቸውን የጠበቁ እንዲሁም ደግሞ የፔኔትሬሽን ኳሶችን የመፈጸም እጥረቶች ነበሩበት። ከአሰልጣኝ ሙልጌታ ምረት ጋር ቆይታ የምናደርግ ይሆናል። ግምገማህን ልስማ እስኪ። አጠቃላይ 90 ደቂቃው እንዴት ነበር?
ምንም 90 ደቂቃ ተመሳሳይ ነው። ዛሬ ተቀድመናል። ኦልሬዲ ከኛ እነሱ የተሻሉ ነበሩ። ጥሩ ስላልሆንን ዛሬ ተሸንፈናል። ምንም የተለየ ነገር የለም። ለሚቀጥሉት ጊዜያቶች ግን ተዘጋጅተን እንመጣለን። ጨዋታው ከባድ እንደሆነ ያው ቀድሜም ነግሬሃለሁ። ያ ነው የገጠመን። አሁን እኛ ጋር ትንሽ ያው የሞራል ጉዳይ ነው የሚጠይቀው። ሞቲቬት የሚያደርግ ነገር ይፈልጋል እንጂ የተለየ ነገር የለም። ጨዋታው ያገኙትን ኳስ እነሱ ተጠቀሙ። እኛም በአጋጣሚዎች እዛ አካባቢ ጋር ለመድረስ ብዙ ጥረዋል። ግን እነሱ ኮምፓክት ሆነው ስለነበረ ማግኘት አልቻለም።
ተመሳሳይ የሆነበት ምክንያት ምንድነው? ዛሬ በጨዋታው ካለፉት ጨዋታዎች
ያው ተመሳሳይ ማለት 90 ደቂቃውም አንድ አይነት ነው። ለውጥ የለው ማለት እነሱ በህብረት በልጠውናል። የመነሳሳት ነገር እነሱ ጋር ይታያል። እኛ ጋር ግን ትንሽ መነሳሳቱ ይጎላል። እንደተጀመረ በ30ኛው ሰከንድ አጋጣሚ እኛ ላይ በተፈጠረው ፔናልቲ ትንሽ የመውረድ ነገር ይታያል እንጂ የተለየ ነገር የለም ከበፊት ጨዋታዎች።
ቀድማችሁ ጎል ማስተናገዳችሁ አጀማመሩ በጨዋታው ተጽዕኖ ነበር?
ይሄ ምንም ጥያቄ የለም። እኛ ተዘጋጅተን የገባንባቸው ነገሮች ሌሎች ነበሩ፣ ግን ተቀደምን በአጋጣሚ። ለነሱ ደግሞ መነሻሻ ሆነ፣ ለእኛ ደግሞ ትንሽ ሁለት አግብተህ ለማሸነፍ አቻ ለመሆን በምንሄድ ሰዓት ደግሞ እነሱ እኛ በምንነቅላቸው ቦታዎች ላይ ጎሎችን አገኙ፣ አሸነፉ። ለእኛ ማሸነፍ ወይ አቻ ነበር የሚያስፈልገው፣ ነጥብ ነው የሚያስፈልገው። ለዛ መሄድ ስላለብን ሄደናል። የተሸነፍነውም ለዛ ነው። ብንጠብቀው ምንም ልዩነት የለውም። 1-3 ጎል ለእኛ ተመሳሳይ ነው።
የመስመር ማጥቃት ስንመለከት በጣም እየተቀዛቀዘ የሚመስል ነው። ይሄ ከተጋጣሚ ቡድናችሁ ሜዳ ላይ ከፈጠረው ጫና ወይንስ እናንተ ከነበራችሁ ጥረት ከየት የመጣ ነው?
ምንም እኛ ራሳችንን ጥሩ ያልሆን ነው። ዛሬ ለምን ያገኘናቸው አጋጣሚዎች አሉ። ያን እኛ ራሳችን መጠቀም ነው፣ የስፔሶችን አለመጠቀም እንጂ ባዶ ቦታዎች ነበሩ። እዛ ቦታ ላይ አለመጠቀማችን እንጂ የሚከብድ ነገር አይታይም ነበረ። እነሱ ከኛ ተሽለው ያን ቦታ እነሱ በእኛ ዲፌንስ እና በእኛ ሚድፊልድ መሀል የሚገኙ ኳሶችን ተጠቅመውበታል። ያቺን ስፔስ መዝጋት ነበረን። ተደጋጋሚ ጥያቄዎች ለልጆቻችን እንዲሸፍኑ ነበር ያደረግነው፣ ግን አልተቻለም። በዛች ክፍተት ይመስለኛል እነሱ እነ ካርሎስ እየወጡ እየተቀበሉ እነ ሱራፌል ኳሶቹን ሲያገኙ ነበረው። ያችን ለመዝጋት ነበር እኛ የተቸገርነው።
አመሰግናለሁ። ቀደም ሲል አሰልጣኝ ሙልጌታ ምረት የሰጠውን አስተያየት ነው እየተከታተላችሁት። ከሽመልስ አበበ ኮማንደር ጋር የምናደርገው ቆይታ የሚቀጥል ይሆናል። በደረጃ ሰንጠረዡ እንግዲህ 25ኛው ሳምንት ላይ እንገኛለን። 53 ነጥቦች በኢትዮጵያ ንግድ ባንክ፣ በመቻል በኩል 50 ነጥቦች፣ እንዲሁም ባህር ዳር ከነማ 44 ነጥቦች አሉት። በደረጃ ሰንጠረዡ የፊት ገጽ ላይ የሚገኙ ቡድኖች መካከል ድሬዳዋ ከነማ ማሸነፉን ተከትሎ 37 ነጥቦችን ይዞ ከፋሲል ከነማ 7ኛ ደረጃ ላይ ከሚገኙ የ3 ነጥብ ልዩነቶችን መፍጠር ችሏል። በእርግጥ ፋሲል ከነማ አንድ ቀሪ ተስተካካይ ጨዋታ ይኖረዋል። ከኮማንደር ሽመልስ አበበ ጋር ነው ቆይታ የምናደርገው። ከጨዋታው በፊት ያነሳቸው ሀሳቦች ነበሩ። ለውጦችን አድርገሃል። የምትፈልገው ጨዋታ ነበረ። የተሳካ 90 ደቂቃ እስኪ ግምገማ ልስማ። እንዴት ነበር?
በትክክል ያው አሸናፊ ከሆንክ ተሳክቷል።
ከእንቅስቃሴው አንጻርስ?
እንቅስቃሴ አንጻር ያው ወልቂጤ ከነማ ምናልባት እኛ ያለበትን ደረጃ ወይም ደግሞ ነጥቡን አይተን የምንገምተው አይደለም። ቅድምም ለመናገር ሞክሬያለሁ። በተለይ መሀል ሜዳ ላይ ጥሩ ኳስን የሚጫወቱ ልጆች አሉና እኛው መሀል ሜዳችን አብዝተን የተጫወትንበትን ምክንያት አንደኛው ያ ነው። እነሱን ዶሚኔት አድርገን ወደ አሸናፊነት ለመምጣት ነው። ስለዚህ ያው ከሞላ ጎደል ጥሩ ነገር አይቻልም።
በጨዋታው ካርሎስ ዳምጠው 2 ጎል አስቆጥሯል። ሱራፌል አሲስት አድርጓል። ከጨዋታው በፊት ስለ ሱራፌልም ናሽናል ቲም ጉዳይ አንስተ ነበርና የዛሬ የተጫዋቾች ምርጫ አማካኙን የተቆጣጠራችሁበት ወደፊት የሄዳችሁበት መንገድ ለአንተ በፈለግከው መንገድ ከሰራው ጋር ሜዳ ላይ የተመለከትከው ጥሩ ነበር?
በትክክል ያው ከነበረው አጫዋት ከነበረብን ሽንፈት ለመውጣት የተጠቀምነው አጫዋት ነው። ሁለተኛ ደግሞ ከተጋጣሚ ቲምም አንጻር እኛ የመረጥነው አጫዋት ይሄን ነበርና በዛ መልኩ ደግሞ ውጤታማ ካረገ ስኬታማ ነን ማለት ነው።
ይሄ ወደ አሸናፊነት መምጣቱ ምን ያክል በአእምሮ እንደገና ይመልሳችኋል እናንተ?
አዎ ብዙ ጊዜ ያው ሽንፈት አስቀያሚ ነገር ነው። በተለይ ቅድም ለመግለጽ እንደሞከርኩት በብዙ ጎል መሸነፍ በራሱ ምን ያህል ቲምህን እንደሚያወርድ ያው የሚታወቅ ነውና ከዛ ለመውጣት ትልቁ ነገር በጨዋታ ብቻ ሳይሆን በስነ ልቦናም ከአለፈው ጌም ጀምሮ ስንሰራቸው የነበረ ነገሮች ነበሩ በልጆች ላይ። ያው ኳስ ስለሆነ ሽንፈቶች ይኖራሉ። ስለዚህ ከነዛ ሽንፈቶች እንዴት አገግመን ነው ወደ አሸናፊነት መምጣት ያለብን የሚለው ከሜዳ ላይ ተግባር ባሻገር ከልጆች ጋር ያለ ተግባብቶ ይሄ ወደ ሜዳ መግባቱ ነገርና ከዛ ነገር ለመውጣት ያደረግነው ጥረት ያው ጥሩ ነበርና ገና እንደተጀመረ አካባቢ ነውና ምላሾችን ማግኘት የቻልነው ጥሩ ነበር።
ተጋጣሚ እንዳሰብከው ታፍ በጣም ከባድ ኦፖነንት ነበር?
የስ
በምን መንገድ?
ለምሳሌ መሀሉን አይተህ እንደሆነ ምናልባት እነሱ ወደፊት ሄደው የማጥቃት እንትናቸው ትንሽ የደከመ ነው እንጂ የመሀል ሜዳ እንቅስቃሴያቸው በጣም ጥሩ ነው። ጠንካራ ቲም ነው። ብዙውን ጊዜ እንደዚህ ነጥቡ ታች ስለሆነ ወይም ደግሞ እዛ አካባቢ ስለሆነ ብለህ የምትገምተው ሳይሆን ወልቂጤ ያው ብዙ ቲሞችንም እየፈተነ የመጣ ነው። በተለይ እነዚህ ላይ ያሉ ቲሞች በነጥብ እነሱንም እየፈተነ የመጣ ነው እና እንደውም እኛ ዛሬ በተሻለ ጎሎች ማሸነፍ ችለናል።
እንኳን ደስ አለ በድጋሚ
አመሰግናለሁ።
ቀደም ሲል ኮማንደር ሽመልስ የሰጠውን አስተያየት ነው የተከታተላችሁት። በጨዋታው እንግዲህ ሙሉ 3 ነጥብ መውሰዳቸውን ተከትሎ በደረጃ ሰንጠረዡ ከፍ ማለት ችሏል። 8ኛ ደረጃ ላይ መቀመጥ ችሏል። 37 ነጥቦችን ይዘዋል። 9ኛ ደረጃ ላይ ሀዲያ ሆሳዕና ይገኛል። በዚህኛው ሳምንት ወሳኝ ጨዋታዎችን ከሚያደርጉ ቡድኖች መካከል አንዱ ነው። ሀምበሪቾ ድራሜ ሻሸመኔ ከነማ አሁን የተሸነፈው ወልቂጤ ከነማ በ25 የግብ ዳኝ 16 ነጥቦችን ይዞ በወራጅ ቀጠና ቦታ ውስጥ ባሉት በጣም አደገኛ ዞኖች ላይ ይገኛል። ረፍት አድርገን ስንመለስ የምናገኘው ሌላኛው ጨዋታ ኢትዮጵያ መድን ድርጅት ከአዳማ ከተማ ጋር የሚያደርጉት ጨዋታ ነው። ይህንን ጨዋታ ረፍት አድርገን ተመልሰን ወደ እናንተ የምናደርስ ይሆናል። ጥሩ ጊዜ ሁላችሁ ተመልካቾቻችን።
Let's put your Premier League knowledge to the test against this football legend. Are you ready? Which player holds the record for the most goals in a single season?
He's just a bully, that boy.
Who has captained in the most?